Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Corey's Conversations. My name is Oniniechi Aderibigbe, and I'm super excited to be steering the direction of the conversation today. This conversation in particular was put together to honor or celebrate International Women's Day 2026, but I promise you that whenever you watch this, it's going to be an evergreen conversation. So you want to sit tight, relax, grab a snack if you can, and join us on the conversation. Us, because I'm not the only person on the set. I'm going to be having this talk with three amazing, beautiful women who are ready to give you the truth, talk about purpose, expression, and all things fashion and femininity, because that is the theme of this particular Corey's conversation, fashion and femininity. Without further ado, let's meet the beautiful ladies that you'll be hearing from today. To my immediate right, I have the amazingly talented and beautiful Ayola Femi Adebayo. Hi, Ayo, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm well, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today. Let me ask you right off the bat. Oh, actually, no, I'll come back. Yes, you two, stay tuned for that. And of course, to Ayo's left, we have a very beautiful, let me crown her, the emerald green lady. Please welcome the very beautiful Ibuku Adelegon.
Hi.
Please do the hi one more time with your... Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much. How are you doing, Ibuku?
I'm great, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And of course, last but most certainly not the least, fashionista, beautiful influencer, Victoria, aka Vicky. Hi, Vicky. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm sure you're all looking and like, my goodness, they all look so stunning. Everywhere I look is Ashoki. Guess what, guys? We have all been adorned by the convener of this conversation, Corey, also known as the billionaire tailor. These outfits were made by Corey. And I mean, I've told her something, and I think you would agree with me that Ashoki should be renamed Ashokori. Because, yeah, because the babe has bodied the fabric, and I think she's making all of Western Nigeria and every aspect of Africa that wears this fabric proud. So shout out to you, Corey. Awesome. Now let's get into the conversation. Fashion and femininity. First of all, let's talk about femininity and womanhood. Let me start with Vicky, since you know I introduced you most recently. Vicky, what is your take when you think womanhood? What comes to mind?
When I think womanhood, what comes to mind? Basically, when I was younger, I think womanhood is, I used to think rather, is long hair, polished look, having a makeup on, just well dressed and all of that. But as I grew older, I got to realize that it's obviously much more deeper, right? Okay. Womanhood is your essence. It's the core of who you are, right? It is much more what and who you're rooted in, right? So yeah, basically, that's what womanhood is.
Thank you very much. I like the depth that you addressed, and I'm sure that we'll go into it in more detail as we discuss. What about you, Ibuku? Are we allowed to call you IBK, or you prefer Ibuku?
Anyone's fine, actually.
I think you prefer Ibuku.
Yes.
Okay, so let's do Ibuku. All right, tell me, what is your thoughts when it comes to womanhood?
Yeah, just like Vicky said, growing up, there's this picture that we have about women where you're supposed to be in a certain way. You have to be soft, you have to be timid somehow, you have to be quiet, you just have to just make yourself look really small. But then I realized that that's not who God created us to be. We are bold, we have so much strength, we have so much grace. I carry myself with so much grace. And I realized that being a woman, you have so much inside of you that you can give to other people. So as a woman, carry yourself with grace and so much essence.
Essence has come up twice. Okay, we'll definitely touch on essence in a moment. Thank you so much, Ibuku. Ayola, what about you?
Okay, so when Vicky was talking, right, saying what she thought womanhood was, there's something that I remembered. So during the week, I saw a video of remember all those Nollywood movies back then when Genevieve or Motola, when they are like university babes, and then you see the way they are dressed.
Blackberry babes.
When you're about to go into it, you're thinking that's how Unity would be, wearing long hair. So those things mirrored how we saw or what our perspective about what a woman should be, right? I think a woman is a caregiver, someone that gives life, right? just recently I was, having a deep thought about it. And one of the things that dropped in my mind is the fact that beyond just giving birth to a child, we're supposed to give birth to a lot of things. The society revolves around us as women. Do you understand? We give life to everything, essence, give meaning to things, right? We birth a lot of things that the society depends on. And, if you think that way, if you see yourself in that light as a woman, you begin to understand that you're a very crucial part of the society, and literally everything revolves around you. And so every step, every decision you take is absolutely important. So yes, that's my own understanding of it.
Thank you so much to all the beautiful ladies who have given their response. And at this point, I'd love for you to head into the comment section and let us know what you think womanhood is, or what womanhood is to you. You could have a different view from now. I mean, with growing up and maturing and just experiencing life, just like a lot of the ladies on the set have shared, their perception of womanhood growing up now is different, and there's something Ayo said, let me touch on that. You talked about the, one of the peculiarities of women, which is that we give life, we give birth. A woman has a womb and would carry a child and bring that child, into this world. I was listening to a preacher, Pastor Stephanie Ike, a while ago, very recently actually, and she said something so profound that, physically women, we have wombs and we know the importance of that. So imagine the spiritual aspect of that. And now tying it to what Ibukun said about, growing up, setting wrong perceptions of womanhood, feeling small. And then Pastor Stephanie said that because there's that much potential in a woman, that's why the devil has tried for eons to push that narrative that women are small. Because guess what? If you tap into your womanhood and your femininity, you are literally unstoppable, And again, I'd like to, in fact, see, we're going to go to different corners today, okay? And touching on this, I want us to now visit the conversation of, so we've talked about womanhood and essence was what Victoria said, that Ibuku also said. And I want us to dive into femininity. First of all, is there a difference, womanhood and femininity?
Is there a difference?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that being feminine is part of being a woman. My own understanding, right? We've talked about womanhood in terms of purpose, in terms of what the Creator has made us to be. The feminine part is part of the things that makes you a woman. So you talk about the softness part of a woman, how you appear, how you talk, how you style yourself, everything that makes you different from a man. Do you understand? When you see this woman, when you see this person and you see that person, so this person is feminine, this person is masculine, all the physical attributes and maybe a bit of the intrinsic attributes as well. I mean, that's my understanding.
Absolutely. Does anyone have a different opinion?
Not really. I think I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, awesome. So I'm happy we're on the same page. Femininity is a part of womanhood. And, some coming back to what you said about, the things that make you different, and most especially the intricate things, not necessarily the physical, which is also very important. And we'll get to that because, look at all our outfits. And then, but the intricate things, softness has come up. And Ibuku, you said something about being soft being misinterpreted as weakness. So let's talk about that in today's world. There's a lot of there are a lot of stories of people who have met women at different levels, maybe in the corporate world, in your own industry, and you find that there's a common misconception that's, or is it a misconception? I don't know. We're about to find out that women in power had to be feared. They're not soft. They're very strong. And not strong in a, of course, women are strong. Softness does not mean weakness, right? You can be soft and strong. But basically, my point is, how can one embody softness as a woman without giving off timidity, without giving off weakness? Ibuku, do you want to share?
Okay, so I'm going to start from what you said. You said softness is not being weak, doesn't equate to weakness. So for women in power that seemingly give off being strong, or maybe being rigid with some situations that you're like, no, you can't do this, no, I'm standing my ground. The fact that you take your stand as a woman does not mean that you are mean. People need to come to terms that women can take decisions and can still be soft-hearted. When we are soft-hearted, doesn't mean that we are going to say yes to everything. People need to actually get get that. So what I mean is, when we are soft, we can also take decisions and stand our ground. And that's actually a good thing.
Okay. Yeah, it is. It is. And in fact, some people believe that women being that way in the workplace, it's because maybe society has made it seem that they have to fight extra hard to be at the top, and so they're trying to be like them.
I feel like it's just a misconception. People need to drop that.
I think it's a misconception, right?
Mhm.
Because naturally, I want to believe that we tend towards being soft naturally. Almost every woman, not necessarily everyone. Yeah. So just like Ibuban said, you can be soft and at the same time be assertive, right?
Assertive
I don't always
is a
have to
word.
say yes because I'm soft, right? If I say no, it doesn't make me less soft, doesn't make me less feminine, right? So yeah, that's basically what
balance.
I think.
So I hear
Yes, there's a
balance.
balance too.
Interesting. I love that so much. And so now I want to dovetail into a certain group of women whom you just sort of touched on a little bit, who are not the most feminine, but are women.
Yes.
You know, believe it or not, I think I had a mini tomboy phase when I was younger. I had a very mini tomboy phase. Honestly, when I look at myself now, I cannot believe that I actually ever went through that, because I'm so feminine now and I love it so much. You know, so I mean, so I have I'm not insecure about it anymore. Thank God. Shout out to my husband. He always tells me how he loves my legs. So I used to be insecure about my legs, because my legs, I have bow legs. My legs are not straight. And to be fair, my legs are not actually bow, but they're not straight. And I guess in seeing movies when I was growing up, I always wanted those model straight legs. So I used to be insecure about them, right? And so I guess in my mind, I thought I wasn't feminine. Also, I'm quite sporty. A lot more when I was in secondary school. I was sports perfect. Shout out. Anyways, but so I guess, you know, some of those things, I just had a mini phase. You can be sporty and very feminine, absolutely. I mean, that's still me today. But, you know, I just had that phase where I felt a little bit tomboyish. And in fact, when I used to pose in pictures, I sort of had a hunch, and my sister would always be like, stand straight, you know. So let's talk about ladies, women, young girls who are not the most feminine, cross my legs, but are still just girls. So how can a person like that tap into her femininity? Ayo, do you want to say something about that?
Okay, so I think that as we mature, as we grow, and as we answer the question, who am I? You'll be able to define what femininity means to you, and then define your style.
Nice.
Do you understand? So, for instance, I would speak about myself, right? I mean, even looking at everyone else, I'm sure Corey had a picture in mind when she was designing for each and every one of us, right? That's because of who she thinks we are. And she must have gotten that from either our interaction with us, saying us, you know, even what we communicate or what we put on social media. You can sort of know, oh, this is this person's style, this is their personal branding, right? True. So I know who I am, right? I know what suits me in terms of even my look, my body. And I know what makes me feel so confident. I was going to tell Corey this, that, I mean, usually when I go for shoots or anything, I don't know how to pose. I don't even know how to dance. But I've been feeling so comfortable.
In
like I've
outfit.
been moving my body, and I'm like, this, you know, like it gives me confidence. I feel very confident about myself. So when you define who you are, right, you know what suits you. You know what speaks to the core of you. So when you meet me, just seeing me alone, you can say 3 things about me based on my look. So I feel like as people mature, as they grow, as they become more aware of themselves and who they are, they begin to shape, you know, their style, their fashion, and, you know, how feminine they want to be or appear.
Thank you so much. What about you, Biko?
Yeah, I used to have a friend that actually was a tomboy growing up, and she did a whole lot of things with the boys. Like, she was always friends with the boys. She would rather talk to the boys than talk to the girls. But over time, I feel like she eventually realized and discovered who she actually is. And right now, she's so beautiful. She's should I say transition? No. No. Yeah. Now she has discovered that, okay, I can be feminine, and I like the way I am. I like the femininity of me. So now she's no longer a tomboy. She now acts like a girl. Oh, she's now
A girl.
She has always been a girl.
Yeah, she's now in tune.
She's now in tune with being a girl, and I see so much beauty in that, and I see how that she shines even more. She glows even more. There is this way when you discover who you are as a woman.
Yes.
It can't be compared.
Yeah.
It can't. It can't.
I mean, you would see 5 men. Sorry, can I speak?
Of course, please.
You will see 5 men in a room and they're all wearing the same suits. They all have the same haircuts. They all, I mean, but look at all of us. We look different.
Diversity.
Yeah, that's the color.
I mean, the colors.
Yes, we bring into you bring
And
into
that's
the
it. Women
room.
actually bring color to life. Actually, Victoria, I just want to drop share anything as well.
Sorry, I kind of like lost my train of thought.
That's okay.
Yeah, but when it concerns femininity, I personally used to want to be a tomboy. I was not, but I
Stop it.
wanted to be.
You
Because
did?
I loved how what's the English? How they looked bold, right? They looked daring. I just like that, and I wanted to be that, right? But I could not be that. I mean, thank God. Maybe not thank God, but yeah, I could not be that. But I think that sorry, what's the question again? I kind of like
for women who aren't exactly so feminine, how can they tap into that side of themselves?
right. For people who are not necessarily feminine, you didn't grow up in that atmosphere. Because for some girls, it mostly was about they came after brothers. So all they saw mirrored were boys.
They became
And
one
so-
of the boys.
Exactly. So they became like the boys.
Uh-huh.
It's not necessarily because they just wanted to
Be
go
like
out
that.
of the league and stuff, right? So for people like that, I grew up, just seeing guys, seeing men, or people that just wanted to be like that, like myself, right? How do you tap into your feminine energy? Just like, sorry, I forgot her name. Like Ayot said, right? Tapping into your feminine energy, it comes when you get to figure out who you are over time, right? So I'm growing up and I'm finding out what do I like? What do I enjoy doing, right? And over time, you're shaping your life around that, right? Your style, how you like your hair being. There are women that do like their hairs being short.
Mhm.
There are people that love
Of
their hair
course.
being long, right? So just getting to know all of this and leaning into it.
Mhm.
God created us, right? And He had the perfect design in mind. There was something
Exactly.
Ibukun said, right? When you start to lean into being a woman, there's the glow that comes from within. You cannot compare it. It's just so beautiful to watch, right? There's it's just beautiful,
It is.
right?
It
So
is.
how can you tap into that? Like I already said, it's just learning of yourself, learning what the Father has said concerning you and leaning into that.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. And I love that you brought in that angle because for every human being, and of course, every gender, male and female, there is an expression of God in that.
Yes.
So the way your average man is, and there's an expression of God in that. The way the average woman is, there's an expression of God in that. The Holy Spirit is a nurturer. Women are typically naturally nurturers, caregivers, life givers. So there's so many things. And I just want to put it out there for balance. Listen, we're not coming for anyone who is not necessarily the most feminine woman, okay?
Yes.
So like we said, it's all about knowing yourself, self-identity, and that is so important in life, in any journey. And this is one of that as well. So knowing yourself and just evolving into who that person is, and knowing yourself according to the will of God, okay? According to the perfect will of God. And so there is room for everyone to express themselves in that way. Again, I highlight according to the perfect will of God, because in this day and age, we have to make it clear, not everything that flies on the internet, not everything that's been affirmed worldwide is the kingdom which we stand for.
Absolutely.
So very important. If you are just joining us, you are watching Corey's Conversations. We're having a conversation today. I've said conversation like 500 times, by the way, but we'll keep going on fashion and femininity, just in honor of International Women's Day 2026. But like I said at the beginning, it's going to be an evergreen conversation whenever you look at this and whenever you watch this, for men and for women as well. And I want us to touch into a very, what I say, sensitive conversation. And that has to do with women and this battle that there seems to be between men and women. Can we talk about that? So one thing Victoria said, growing up, one thing she admired about boys or tomboys, ladies who had, were sort of, boyish in their dressing or approach, was they looked bold, but she grew into herself and realized you can be feminine and be bold as well. I mean, I'm sure if you see her on Instagram, you watch her videos, you definitely like what you see, right? So, being bold is not a gender thing, it's a person thing, right? So let's talk about this battle. I mean, we can't have a conversation like this and not touch on it. We want to be real. Let's talk about this men and women war. What is it? What's going on? Why are women trying to be men? Why are men trying to be women, Susef? What's going on? Ayo, do you want to tell us what your thoughts are? Okay, let me make it more specific. What do you have to say to any woman out there who feels like she has to tap into masculinity to be in charge? Because I think that's where it typically comes in most.
Yes.
You find a lot of women struggle with the concept of, in fact, not women, the world struggles with the concept of women in leadership. And so you found that women have to do more, or it seems that they have to do more. Let me know, jump to conclusions.
Okay, so I understand, maybe, I can understand everybody's experience, but to a large or a little extent, right? So I'm not generalizing. I sort of understand why, I work in the corporate space, so I sort of understand why sometimes you want to come off as, like build this wall around you and come off as strong and bold, right? Just so maybe you earn respect or so you're feared. I sort of understand, right? But I also know that sometimes the definition of, so for instance, a man would say something and nobody would ever define it as is being hard or strong. But a woman would say the same thing and then she would be called off as hard or strong just because the society or culture has sort of shaped our understanding of how a woman should react or talk and how a man should react or talk. So anything outside of what they expect or what they've understood over time is you doing something totally different, right? I remember at my previous place of work, I had traveled to a part of the country and we're trying to set up for an event, and I was saying something, and then this guy came and he was like, the women in my place or the women from my place don't talk this certain way. They don't, like, they're not the ones to give they're not the ones to give reports. The report has to, and I'm like, well, I'm sorry, I'm not from your place. I'm not a woman from your place. I came from this place and this is the report. So if you're not going to get it from me, then I'm sorry, you're not going to get it from anybody else. Right? And I didn't disrespect him. I just made it clear.
Firm,
right?
assertive.
And then we moved from there. Right? So I think that sometimes we would make mistakes as women because the expectation from society is sort of high. But one thing I know that I try not to do as often as possible is never to respond as a victim. I'm not a victim. Whatever the society has set as standard or defined for me, it's on them, not on me. I'm in touch with who I am and who God has made me to be.
Yes, girl.
So from time to time, I'm not responding from the place of a victim. Because the moment you're responding, you're going from that angle, you're going to be more emotional than logical. And then they've successfully placed a bait, right? And you're going to make a mistake. So, I mean, I have women that I look up to. If you're close to me, you know that I praise and I speak a lot about Ibukun Awushika. She's a woman that she's in power, she's in leadership. She's also a mother, she's a wife, she's a pastor. So the good thing about being a woman is that I feel like God has given us a lot of potential.
Yeah.
So there are places where you come off and you have to come up as strict and bold. There are places, you come off and then you have to be in tune with your soft side, with being a mother. That's feminine instinct. And there are places that you have to marriage both together. I feel like it's a good thing that God has given to us, right? And as we grow, especially in our relationship with God and the Holy Spirit, it would constantly help us to know when to bring out this side and that other side. We will stumble. I think it's very okay.
Naturally,
don't beat yourself too hard about it.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll keep shaping what the right narrative is and not what society expects of us, I think.
Thank you so much. Very, very well said. Victoria and Ibuku, does anyone want to throw anything in?
I think she's already created a balance already.
Yeah.
There will be a time where you have to be strict and there will be a time where you have to be soft. Growing up, my mom taught me to be very bold. I didn't I didn't grow up where I have to keep quiet or silent. No, she'll tell you if somebody did something to you, say your own, talk. So I grew up like that. So I also had to learn. There was a balance. She taught me where to be soft, calm, and when to speak my mind or stand my ground. And that's what she talked about. There has to be a balance where women will come to the terms with the fact that you can be soft and you can be strong.
Yes.
It's superpower.
Actually, right.
It's her superpower. It's her.
I mean, being a woman is so beautiful. Victoria, did you ever struggle with your femininity? I mean, now it looks like you don't, but was there ever a time that you struggled with the feminine side of yourself?
I think there was a time I did struggle with it, particularly because, I mean, femininity was, you have to be soft-spoken, your actions, you have to be, don't do too much, don't show too much, right? If you're angry, you cannot necessarily express anger. If you can't necessarily even say no, right? Whatever they want, just take it in and all of that. That was a struggle for me because I'm like, I can be quiet. I mean, I think I'm quiet. I'm kind of, right?
Victoria's friends, please tell us in the comments, is she actually quiet?
Right. But I also know not to take rubbish, right? And so I cannot stand it. So what do you mean I need to be soft when I need to speak up, right? So I struggle a lot with that. How do I marry both, right? So yeah, that was a huge struggle. But right now, I have understood that you can be both. So when I'm saying no, that's not me being wicked or being mean, right?
Yeah.
That's me still being soft, still being a girl, still being feminine, right? But I am not going to take this. And there's nothing you're going to do about that, right? So,
Awesome. I love that we've touched a lot on the intricate details that make a woman feminine and help tap into her feminine energy. And I want us to come to the external. There are many pillars of femininity, a lot of pillars, and they all have their different significances and importances. And I want us to talk about fashion. I mean, the theme after all is fashion and femininity. And I just want to say that, to conclude the previous conversation on the men-women thing, I think that the summary is that God made man and woman for a reason, because there are certain things that men cannot do, certain things that women cannot do. However, when we have both, there is balance and beauty in the world. Absolutely. So I would say that for everyone, be comfortable in your true gender, the gender that God gave you, that you were born with. And we laugh, but a lot of people have these struggles. A lot of people have these struggles actually, find themselves for different reasons. Like maybe they feel like they're the opposite gender, and then, there's confusion. It's not a pretty place to be, I imagine. And so I would just say, if there's anyone out there struggling, again, it's important to know who you are in Christ, and understand why he made you who you are. It would help you to love and accept that person and grow into the perfect image that he has. I mean, the Lord says, I have plans for you, good and not evil, to bring to an expected end. So I just wanted to put that out there. I don't believe in the men-women battle. There's no need. There's so many beautiful things that men bring to life, so many beautiful things that women bring to life. And, the partnership is beautiful, it's perfect. So just wanted to put that out there. But now let's come to fashion and femininity. Once again, worthy of note, we've all been styled and clothed by Kore. You should check out Kore on Instagram if you haven't already, at Kore, Koree. Fashion brand, fashion forward brand, African prints, contemporary, whatever you're looking for, they've got you. So please definitely head on to Instagram, follow, send a DM, look through their page, and even if you don't see what you want, trust me, you can communicate what you want and you're gonna get it. You're welcome. Now let's talk about fashion and femininity. Is it possible to be a feminine woman and not like fashion? Ini, mini, money, mo. Will I start with Ibuku? Let's start with you.
Okay, I would say yes. It is very possible to be a woman and not be fashionable. That's the question, right?
Not like fashion.
Or not like fashion. Yes, very possible. There are women that do not really like to dress up. They just want to wear something free. I wear free things a lot. I like boo-boo.
Comfort.
Yes, the comfort. Yeah, you don't have to necessarily like fashion and, put on so many rings like me, or the bangles, or do a lot of makeup with the contacts and lashes. Fashion doesn't define you as a woman. No, it doesn't. So you don't necessarily have to. That's my own answer.
Thank you so much. Ayo, what do you have to say?
Okay, I think that, I mean, just writing on what Ibokun has said, fashion can be simple. So it's when we
Less
think
is more.
Yeah, it's when we think fashion has to be more and a lot of things. And I think that a lot of people, that's not a lot, I don't want to generalize. Maybe some people think that's what fashion should be, and that's why they shy away from it, and then they are just, they just yeah. Do you understand? I mean, look at Mark Zuckerberg, I think. Every time people say, oh, he's always wearing jean and just sneakers with white shirt. But trust me, those are brand, like, I mean, they're not. It's still a style. That's his own style.
That's his style.
Yeah. So I think fashion can be simple and it's okay.
And I wanted to say that even men are fashionable this time. So you can't put fashion and a gender together and say, okay, because you're a woman, you have to be fashionable.
True.
Yeah. There are men that are actually very, very stylish.
True.
Men, I'm thinking of somebody now, but
Don't tension the singles. Vicky, what do you have to say?
Okay. Obviously, just like all these beautiful ladies have said, the both of you. Fashion doesn't define femininity, right? Just like you both have said, fashion can be simple. I love simple fashion. Forget what you see on my page. I love simple fashion. I love boo-boo. I love big tees, particularly, and big pants. I love them so much. If you see me outside not attend an event, that's most likely what I'm wearing, right? Because you need to be comfortable. You need to enjoy yourself. One of the sweetness of femininity is enjoying your being, right?
Your essence.
Yes, your essence. And free fashion helps you do that. There's minimalist fashion. I think that's what they call it, right? Simple outfits, right? But you still look fashionable with it.
Yes.
Right. So yeah, fashion does not define femininity.
I'm so happy because I thought I was going to have to do like a whole debate. Yeah. We're all on the same team. When I was thinking about this, and I mean, to be fair, there are people who probably have different opinions. While I recognize that there are also women who probably feel liberated hearing you say this. Like, oh my goodness, do you mean fashion doesn't have to be the most? I don't have to wear 8-inch heels. I don't have to tie the whole corset and I can't eat well when I go for the party. You know, they're so happy. I'm sure that there's a lot of liberation right now, and I'm happy about that because you don't have to be a fashion freak to be a feminine woman. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, there are many pillars of fashion, of femininity, I beg your pardon, and appearance is one of them. Now, this does not mean that because fashion is not your go-to or your number one thing, it doesn't mean that you show up looking anyhow. Absolutely not. You want to be put together. Yeah. You don't have to have nail extensions on. You don't have to, paint your nails, but your nails should be well manicured. True. You don't have to have makeup on, but you should look good. You don't have to have hair extensions on if that's not your thing, but your hair should be neat. Yeah. I mean, look at Ayo. Ayo loves and rocks her natural hair. I love it so much. It's so beautiful. Very comfortable in her skin. You don't have to wear the tightest clothes. You don't have to wear the biggest clothes. Whatever it is, just be look appropriate for the event, the occasion, the location, and again, I would also say that maybe a fashionista is someone who's very on par with trends, fashion trends. You know what the latest trend is. You adopt it, maybe even set trends. And it's okay if that's not you. If your own is that you just want to wear clothes because Adam and Eve is going to eat that thing. And now we all have to wear clothes. That's just, that's okay. That's fine. You just have to look good. Look good. You don't have to be the biggest brands or the most expensive clothes, but you can, look very good. And of course, if your fashion is on a budget right now, that's also good. It's not about the expensiveness. You can be a fashionista and you don't have to break the bank.
I was going to say that some women actually put themselves under unnecessary pressure where you feel like you have to wear the most expensive brand to look fashionable. No, oh my God. You can literally, I wanted to say some people go to Yaba market and go and buy and
then by the time they start it, you'll be like, you're not gonna believe, is this from Zara?
What do you want it from?
A true fashionista is someone who can take anything and make it look wow. Literally,
you can even take a trendy outfit and style it to suit you.
Exactly.
Like, how did you do this?
Exactly. You can wear a basic tee, but by the time you're done, and then your aura, your presence, and that comes.
And your carriage.
Yes, and that comes from self-acceptance. And self-acceptance is knowing yourself, loving yourself, and accepting yourself, flaws and all. This is no excuse for bad behavior, though. We're not perfect. We all have flaws, and I think that self-acceptance and growth and maturity is knowing that this and this are not so great. Maybe I should work on this and do better. Yes. That's fantastic. We're going to round off right now in a few minutes, but I just want to touch on something real quick before I ask each of you to give us maybe final parting words for anyone who's watching. I say that now so you can think about it, so I'm not throwing you under the bus immediately. But the final thing, when it comes to fashion, I beg your pardon, and just women, is do you believe that beauty has to be pain?
Me, no. I love comfort. I want to be comfortable. I want to breathe. I want to walk. I want to move. Like I said earlier, I mean, I could dance in this outfit. I was very happy. And then I feel like when you're comfortable, you're confident as well. Because, I mean, you're moving freely. You're not worried that you will trip because you're wearing
something will tear.
20 inches. Do you understand? So for me, I don't think fashion should be paid. I do not subscribe.
Yes, me too. I do not subscribe to beauty being paid. No. We don't have to go through so much to look beautiful. No. I don't even like corsets. Like, I like the fact that I can sit comfortably in this outfit. I can wear 3 inches and I'm fine. I don't have to do so much, and I can barely breathe. Or when I'm walking on the road, I'm like, am I sure that my dress is not going to rip apart at some point? No, because it's too tight. So it doesn't have to be pain.
Thank you so much, Ricky. What about you?
Oh well.
It's like Vicky has a different opinion.
Yeah, I'm very happy someone has a different opinion.
So I've been of the opinion that beauty is not pain. I always say, people say beauty is pain, I'm like, no, it's not, right? But recently, sometimes, I'm so sad, not sad to break it to you, but sometimes beauty is pain. It will be pain, right? For some occasions, for some, especially when you're dealing with fashion, right? Some looks you have to, yes, you will not be as comfortable as you need to be, but because you want to show up in some certain way, right? You have to endure that pain, right? So wearing the proper heel that would match the outfit, and all of those things. If you need to get your makeup done, or you're getting married, right? You want to look a certain way, right? It's your choice, right? No pressure. But these things are not necessarily going to be comfortable, but if they're needed, you have to do them. So sometimes, not every time, beauty is pain. That's what I think.
I mean, to be fair, if you think about it, getting your nails done can be painful.
It's painful. I don't like it.
They are filing, and I have soft hands, so I always tell my nail techs, please. In fact, they know me because small thing now you go see blood on my finger. No. My husband said I should do my nail, but said I should not wound myself. I was actually dipping this thing one day. That actually beauty can be discomforting. Tying gele, oh my goodness. Before the end of the day, your ears are ringing. Sometimes you have to wear heels and your feet are hurting. But I mean, like Vicky said, it's sometimes it's a necessary.
But it doesn't have to.
But it doesn't have to be, exactly. So the thing is, there's always an alternative. And thankfully today, I think that a lot of fashion brands, bags, shoes, clothing are coming up with friendly alternatives to these things. So yeah, there's usually an alternative. I mean, if you can handle it, why not? There are actually some people that are comfortable in the 8-inch heels and whatnot. I think it's absolutely beautiful because there's a certain courage that heels give you. But at the end of the day, there's a way that your sneakers would also give you a very nice look as well. So whatever, I think it's, again, everything comes back to knowing who you are and what works for you. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Curious Conversations. We have an amazing time, ladies.
Yes.
I think that we did, and we hope that you did as well. Please let us know what you learned in the comment section. I did promise that the ladies would give one-liners before we go. So let's do one-liner very quick. Ayo, let's start with you.
Okay, so I think that at the back of your mind, for every time you step out, let it be clear when people see you based on your appearance, right? They can sort of figure out who you are.
Awesome.
Okay, for me, I would say that women should not compare themselves with other women, support every other woman in your life, and push them to be who they are.
Thank you so much, Vicky.
So yeah, for me, it's learn of yourself, come to know who it is God has said you are, right? And lean into that. It will make your life beautiful. You'll be much more confident, much more comfortable, and you have a positive influence around about you.
Absolutely. And for me, it'll be everything they've said, plus for anyone who's struggling with being a woman, girl, trust me, it's a blessing to be a woman. Just like it is to be a man. It's not a competition, remember. Enjoy your womanhood, your femininity. It's so beautiful being soft and just having that feminine energy. And by God's grace, we'll all tap into it and know how to express it in our different areas and spheres of life. Once again, we'd like to thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you've not already. Turn on post notifications so you don't miss when any new Corey conversation drops. Leave a comment, share, and head on to Corey's Instagram. follow, like, place an order or 2 or 15 and get outfits that you love. Thank you so much, ladies. Once again, I've had Victoria on the show with me, Ibuku Adelego on the show, Ayola Femi Adebayo, and I'm Oninechi Aderibibe. God bless you. Bye.
Bye.